Stuka Joe here. Today's what, 23rd of June, right?
Yes.
Sunday. I'm here, Consimworld Expo 2019 with Gregory Smith of the Hunters, the Hunted, Zeppelin Raider, Silent Victory, and Pacific Tide,
and Night Fighter Ace.
Night Fighter Ace fame, and
It's been a busy year for me.
and he has another one here he's developing. So I'm gonna let him talk about it, and we'll take a look at the components.
Right. I'm very thankful to Stuka for wanting to see the game. I'm kind of excited about this one. It's called Western Front Ace, and it's a sequel to Night Fighter Ace.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I'm really excited about, well, a couple things. Number one, Ian Cooper has helped me design this. He did Raiders of the Deep with me. Mostly Raiders of the Deep is mostly him, just a little bit me, but it was my original system. But Ian's a big World War I guy, and he's into aircraft. And I said, well, let's do a World War I game using the Night Fighter Ace system. The only problem is because Night Fighter Ace was mainly the combat was against bombers. And we do have recon planes and bombers, aka two-seaters in World War I. We also wanted mainly the game to be about the fighter versus fighter aspect, you know, because people want a dogfight, right? It's World War I airplanes. So then I had this idea, hey, you know what? I'll take one of my favorite games ever, which is Down in Flames, has this innovative combat system where the planes are either facing each other or advantaged or tailing, and we'll apply that to this World War I game. So I'll use that for the combat system, and a deck of cards to apply results, just like Night Fighter Ace, and it worked. So then we came up with a lot of these different components.
So let's take a look at the components. Okay.
So the thing that's kind of different about this game is the map. We've got the trench line, and it obviously goes across all of Europe, but what the static trenches of World War I allow me to do is we can now not just play Germans or French. You can do either, or you can play British. Or I have another map for the Germans and the Austro-Hungarians.
Okay.
So you can actually play 7 different nationalities in this game, your choice. Not all at the same time, but...
And you started what year?
And this game starts in September of 1916,
Okay.
mainly because the earlier planes just really weren't very capable, and it just wasn't much fun. So we starting with the better planes mid-war, and then it goes to the end of the war.
Okay, let's see how. We've got a lot of planes here, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's take a look at the planes here. These
We're
are
looking for one more player for Congress of Vienna playtest. We have 3 players. We need one more.
got the Sopwith Dolphin.
Each plane is historically researched for their capabilities and weapons and what have you, and speeds. So,
Let me know if you're
42 different planes that the player can play, which is kind of, I thought kind of neat.
And you also told me that the planes, there's some planes that are really nice planes. They weren't going to give them to some rookie. So some of these planes you got to earn your points to fly them, right?
Well, exactly. So the what I call my prestige point system, where starter planes are basically available in September 1916, and you don't need any prestige to play it.
Yeah.
So you start with one of those, but then Alb D2, Alb D3, as the planes get more advanced, it requires a higher prestige level to fly it. And how do you get prestige? You shoot the enemy down, you earn awards, you get promoted, that kind of thing. But the prestige system works very nicely. It worked well in Night Fighter Ace, and so it definitely applied to this game, and so I thought it would work really well here, and it has in testing. People really liked it. And one more thing that I took the skill system from Night Fighter Ace, which was a big hit, and applied it here as well, and that actually kind of helps you stay alive, because the major issue in World War I airplane game, there's no parachutes.
Oh yeah, it's a little detail there. Yeah.
No parachutes.
If you're going down, you're going down.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay alive sometimes. So and I'm not going to give the player a magic parachute per se. So But we have the skill system where you can, as you gain more experience, you can trade in points and buy things like reflexes skill or a gunnery skill, so you do more damage, or possibly a sixth sense skill where you sense impending danger and you avoid a little bit of damage. So little small perks that help.
Something you would develop as you gain experience.
It's true, exactly. Landing skill, that kind of thing. So the skill system also adds to the game, and it gives player choices. It isn't just random roll dice, which of course people always complain about solitaire games or this style of game. They say, "Oh, it's just a dice roller." Well, that's really not true anymore.
Now, I see that you have there these displays for like pilots.
Yeah, we have what we call the dress-up dolls. Each nationality.
So you got French,
German, American, British, Belgian.
You got two kinds of British, right?
Yeah, British Royal Flying Corps and also the Naval, RNAS. The point being is that tried to make it very historical. You got all the historical awards that these guys could actually win or be mentioned in dispatches. And this just kind of helps add a little bit of the role-playing element to it, but it also, the dress-up doll chart keeps track of your prestige and what skills you have.
And you told me about the Germans. It's a interesting thing. Because Germany had been united for very few years, so you had medals from Prussia, from Bavaria,
the Hanseatic states. This is probably the only war game ever designed that will include a War Merit Cross from the Principality of Lippe. Hanseatic Cross. So it actually matters. You actually have to choose your birthplace if you play the Germans, because there's different awards for Saxony and Prussia and all that.
So if you like to celebrate after each plane shot down at a beer hall, make sure you get a guy from Bavaria. Right?
Yeah,
because there's no beer halls in Prussia.
Exactly so, Bavarian. But I'm excited for it. It's gone through quite a bit of testing already, and the players have really liked it and made a few changes. But I think we're about ready to go. I just need to get an artist.
So that will come, because this is a really nice, interesting design and something I've never seen before. And you have a lot of flexibility, and it's a really you can cover a lot of nationalities and planes, so I think players like that.
Yeah, the research is there for sure. Let's put it that way. I do try to have good historical research in my games.
So here you teamed up with Ian Cooper, who's a World War I guy, right?
He is a World War I nut, yes, and I will say that. But players will know Ian from Raiders of the Deep if they're into World War I.
Yeah.
He was the driving force behind that game, and he's a great guy too, by the way. And he actually came up with the concept of contact patrols, which actually makes this game work. And I'll tell you why, because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what am we going to do? These guys would fly every day, sometimes multiple patrols a day. So how do we represent that? If we do that and have my normal, mission chart, it's going to be 5 pages long, 10 pages long.
Yeah, but they found multiple missions a day they would fight, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. So how do we make this work? And then Ian said, we'll just do contact patrol. We'll just assume that they're flying all these missions.
Yeah.
But if nothing happens,
we don't play
we're not going to bother with it.
Yeah.
So we'll roll a die. That's how many contact patrols you get per month. And so then one month you might fly 4 sorties that matter, that have a engagement. And another month you might roll 6 or 2 or whatever. And so the contact patrol system, once we sorted it out, I was like, Ian, you're brilliant. So that's what cracked the code there on the game and
just
made it
for
work.
Pure action and take away the tedium, take out the
if
tedium of days when nothing happens.
Exactly. We just don't bother with those, and that's what contact patrols, how that works. Well, the other cool thing about the cards is they're multi-use. But not only can I do different combat results, but I can also put the defensive options on the cards if you choose to do that. And at the bottom is the rear gunner shooting.
Okay.
So I have multiple uses out of each card, depending on, are you drawing it for your shooting, are you drawing it for his defense, or are you drawing the card for his rear gunner? So that's why I like cards. Plus, you get that sort of tension of,
what's coming.
And you don't have to, in a game that has a lot of charts already,
Yeah.
you get to avoid a chart because you're just using the cards. So, yeah, I like
I like to see that more in games like because it keeps the tension and the action going.
Yeah.
So it looks like a very interesting design, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks for your time,
Thanks,
brother.
Gregory.